Am I the butthole for locking my garage so my brother and sister can't open it without talking to me? Edit. I sent a text message to them that said I was annoyed when they show up unannounced and just open the garage. A hello, or text would be expected courtesy in my opinion. They responded, sorry, you told me when we moved out I could use garage whenever, so I didn't think much of it, but I can see how that was rude. When we move to our house we will grab everything from garage so it won't be a problem anymore. /edit. There's some context, so I'll put a too long, didn't read at the end. I bought a house. I specifically found one that had a mother-in-law apartment so my parents could live with me and save some money as they get older. My sister's husband lost his job, and so I let them live in my house for almost 2 years while I lived in the mother-in-law apartment. So they could save and get back on their own. Well, after 2 years they hadn't saved anything, and so I told them it was time to leave. They moved out last June. I moved back in upstairs, and my parents moved in downstairs in the apartment. My sister and her husband left a lot of things in the garage since they moved into an apartment. This annoyed me and my wife and eventually made them clean it out. But still had some things in there, mostly junk in my opinion, but also some tools. They would always just show up, and take in or leave stuff in my garage. Last week was the last straw for me. Her husband showed up, opened the garage and stored the top to his Jeep, which took up most of the space. No hello, no text, nothing. I felt disrespected. I changed the code to the garage and locked the side door from the inside. Today they showed up again to get a tool. I assumed they were visiting my mom. She told them to ask me to get into the garage, and they got really mad. They said they are family, it's their stuff, they shouldn't have to. I feel like it's my house, and while I would probably never say no if they asked to store something, but it's common decency to ask someone first. Even just send a text saying, hey, I'm dropping off something today. Too long, didn't read. Sister and brother-in-law use my house as if it were theirs, never asked permission for anything, mad when I put a stop to it. Not the butthole, your sis and brother-in-law sound like moochers. I wouldn't give them the garage door code. Probably should also tell them they have until the end of the month to get their stuff out of your garage or it'll wind up on the curb. Original poster replies. They are moving into a house in 4 weeks, so I assume they will finally take all their stuff. That's good, but don't assume they will. Maybe drop a hint like by telling them, now that you are getting your own place you can get all your stuff out of my garage finally. Or a hint more like, now that you have your own place, anything in my garage in 5 weeks is going in a dumpster. Or just talk to them, like, I don't like that your stuff is taking up space in my house. I would like to use that space. Please move your stuff out of my house. If not, it's going into a dumpster. I would have set that crap on fire and roasted marshmallows in front of them. I'm not saying it's going in a dumpster, but it's going in a dumpster. A dumpster costs money, he should just move it outside and put a free sign and curb alert on Craigslist. But the one behind the Waffle House is always open. Well, that's a bit extreme. A bit extreme is living in someone's house for 2 years and never saving and then using their garage as your personal storage unit for months and months. They were being sarcastic. Or, I have plans for the space your stuff is currently in. While you still have your moving van on, moving day, please come by between X and Y time to clear it out and take it all to your new place. The plans can be for a nice neat empty space in the garage where the crap was, no need for anything fancy. Too many pleases. Had to do this with my mom. My husband and I bought her home 13 years ago. It is our home, it is titled to us, it is legally ours. She left about 75% of her stuff as she went from our house to a living arrangement that was about 25% of the size. So, understandably, she couldn't take everything. Years passed, and we asked her many times to come get anything she wanted as we were going to start clearing things out as we needed the space. We offered to help her move anything she wanted. She always had one excuse or another. Finally, last summer, we set a date and said anything not out of here by August 30th will be sold, donated or put in a dumpster. Let me know when you're coming to get it. My husband and I are at your disposal to move or load anything. The date came and went and nothing. So, we had a big tag sale. donated a bunch of items and hired a dumpster to get rid of the rest. My mother was livid when she found this out and asked why we didn't let her know first. What? We asked you for 12 years to get your stuff, 12 years. And you ignored us. So sad, too bad. It's gone. She was actually angry that we got rid of her stuff. I said, listen, when I bought the house, I also bought everything you left behind. I stored these items for 12 years. You literally had 12 years to come and take anything you wanted and you chose not to. That's on you. It's been almost a year since all this, and she's still salty about it. Skeptical. Lots of stuff she didn't need for 12 years and can't live without. I'm a big fan of very direct hints. Been taken advantage of due to my kindness and empathy one too many times. Life is easier when you just say what you actually mean. In this situation, I wouldn't be mincing words. Especially after letting someone live in my house. No buttholes here, they can be told like adults to get their crap or find it at the junkyard. Not the butthole. Original poster has been way too generous with them. First, he should have only offered them the mother-in-law apartment rather than letting them live in the house. Then he should have had them remove all of their belongings when he evicted them. They think of his house as theirs, in a sense, because they lived in it for 2 years. He gave a yard and they took a mile. No more chances or assumptions. Original poster needs to be direct and firm. All of their things out now. They can figure out where to store it, that's their responsibility. He shouldn't give them the code to the garage, ever. He gave a house, and they kept the garage. Actually, you should tell them they have to take all the stuff out on moving day, while they have access to trucks and or helpers to help them with the move. Otherwise, they will procrastinate and keep doing the exact same thing, coming over when they need 1 or 2 things, and using your garage for junk storage, so they never have to sort through it. Especially since most of it is junk. Source: I did this to my parents. Oh yeah, not the butthole. Don't assume, enforce it. Give them a deadline and stick to it. You've been super generous, but it's time to put your foot down and set boundaries. I second giving them a deadline. They have until whatever date you choose and the stuff needs to be moved to their house, a storage locker, or wherever that isn't your garage. If it isn't gone by or on that date, then it all goes on the curb. I bet you also assumed they would save some money in the 2 years you let them use your house. Not the butthole. But you need to use your words and set some boundaries before you get to the point of being pissed off. Don't assume. Make it clear. I'd actually hire someone to pack up all of their crap and drop it off at their new house. Consider it money well spent. And then you'll know that it's all gone. Volunteer to help them move. And while original poster is being so helpful, all that stuff that's being stored can just, magically show up at their new house. Be careful, they won't. It'll be, oh, we're still unpacking, oh, we're so busy, oh, we don't have the room. Give them a date, say anything left will be tossed or donated. It's the only way to get people to do stuff. Had to do that with my sister to go through the stuff at mom's house, so we can sell it. She kept wanting to move the date. I said no. Anything at the end of the month will be tossed, donated or sold. We're on schedule. 6 weeks from today to get their stuff out. Mark it on the calendar. Tell them July 3rd everything in the garage that isn't yours is going on the curb. No extensions, no sob stories, no bullcrap. There's a saying that assuming makes a butt out of you and me. Provide them some time slots that work for you, for them to retrieve their crap, and tell them whatever is left by X date will be going to Goodwill or the dump, so they need to choose and commit to a date. You lived in the guest apartment on your own property and let your sister and brother-in-law stay in your home, your bedroom, your kitchen, etc., and you let them live there for 2 whole years. You're definitely not the butthole, but I think that you need to open your eyes and see that you have been and are still being walked all over in your own home. You are not a doormat, you're a homeowner who worked hard and bought a home. Your sister and brother-in-law see your kindness as weakness, and after all this time are likely to look at this as you kicking them out of their home. Don't let them play that game and don't fall for any upcoming sob stories. Keep those doors locked, and tell them they can have 24 hours a day access when they get their crap out of your garage. Until then, They get access to their stuff on your time, not theirs. Don't be a doormat. You did something incredibly nice for them for 2 years. But hospitality only goes so far, and they've reached the end of your rope. Not the butthole. It is time for them to take everything out and put it in storage. Inform them that they have 2 weeks to empty it out. After that, anything in there will be considered abandoned, and you will keep what you want and throw away the rest. Original poster replies. I really thought this would be more controversial. I'm starting to not feel guilty at all about it. You should never feel guilty about others taking advantage of you. If anything, you should only feel guilty about not shutting things down sooner. Not the butthole. Sounds like you've been taken advantage of for a long time and you think standing up for yourself makes you in butthole. You need to learn to say no and to not drown yourself just to make others more comfortable. Why? They clearly suck. Original poster replies. We're family, and family shouldn't have to ask. Family should respect each other and their home space. Perhaps ground rules could have been laid sooner to avoid their misunderstanding, but you're laying them out now. If you feel inclined to apologize for anything, it could be I'm sorry for not making this clear sooner, but my garage space is my own, and I don't want it cluttered up with other people's stuff, family or otherwise. Since you're moving into a new place, I'll make it clear now that I expect you to pick everything that's still here up by X date, or it will be disposed of as I see fit. Would they be okay with you walking into parts of their new house without warning or permission? Or are they just shameless moochers who throw family around as a justification for treating you poorly? Laughing out loud, this is Am I the Butthole, home of hating entitled family members. You probably could have taken the Jeep cover and strangled him with it and still gotten a not the butthole. Not the butthole. They don't live there, and they shouldn't have their stuff in your garage. You let them stay 2 years rent-free and they show no appreciation and squandered the opportunity. You've done enough for these people. Pick a date and say they have to come get their stuff on this day. All of it. After that, it's going to the dump. Not the butthole. Keep it locked. Break the habit of them using your garage as a free storage unit. Absolutely not the butthole, as they do see original poster as free storage. Original poster should hand them a bill comparable to a rental unit but still require original poster to be on premises before accessing the garage. Not the butthole. In my family we all share. My sister has left her tires in my garage and my parents have stored my stuff and so on. Sharing our space is really normal in my family. We always ask permission first and always let each other know when we will be picking stuff up. We would never dream of just randomly showing up to pick up or drop off stuff. I'd be right pissed if someone kept coming into my garage without asking first, and I'd be even more pissed if someone dropped off something large without first asking. What if you were planning on using that space that is now occupied by a Jeep top? But see, you said we ask permission first. But see, they followed that statement by saying they'd be pissed in the original poster situation. Not the butthole. You made a mistake by giving them your house. They should have taken the mother-in-law suit and had a clear date to leave instead. Clean their stuff out completely and tell them to come get it and not treat your garage like their personal storage shed. Change your locks. Original poster. Too many people have opportunity to copy your keys. Don't let them continue taking advantage of you. This is the first thing I thought. Why the hell did original poster move into the mother-in-law apartment, and not the sis and brother-in-law? This was my thought too. Like, why did original poster give them the big house when the AITA was big enough for a family? Glad they didn't trash the house or anything, and glad original poster is setting boundaries at last. Not the butthole. Even if you allowed it before, you can change your mind and not allow it now. It's your property. It's always been your property. You were just gracious enough to allow them to stay and then eventually leave some of their stuff there after they moved out. Personally, I'd tell them to move all of their stuff. They are being entitled and just plain taking advantage of your kindness at this point. May I ask why you gave them the main house and you took the mother-in-law suite? Especially since your post reads like you have a wife? Original poster replies. Yeah, I left out something. My mom and dad and my sister's family shared the upstairs. My wife and I had the basement. We wanted to be alone instead of sharing a living space. That makes sense. Oh, and not the butthole. Not the butthole. Family isn't exempt from trespassing. I personally like to know when someone is at my home. Laughing my butt off, what? Not a text, not even a hello. Family doesn't treat you like a container unit. They sound like leeches. No mercy. Give them an ultimatum and throw their crap on the curb. Not the butthole. Not the butthole. A, they should have moved their stuff out the first time. B, they should ask since it's your garage. Not the butthole. Not the butthole. Not the butthole. Not the butthole. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.